Okay, so hi traders, there is a recap from last week. I trade mostly on the pump and dumps on the backside move, but also there were some trades with trend like on Tesla or SPCE. So let's start. First of all, I rarely trade Tesla and stock that are most priced like above $50. I'm usually focused on a stock in a range between $1 to $10 or $1 to $20. So main of my trades are based on that. But take a look on the Tesla. I was trading it only on pre-market. It was nice gap up on 10th of February. So I started shorting it around 815 and 820 and closed the position around Viva line, so around 805.6. Of course, it was based only on this price action. When we take a look at the chart, I opened position around here, closed it here, but after that price moved down back to 750. But you know, I just trade based on a quick situation like that, so that's all. The next few days bring much more interesting stocks for me, especially some pump and dumps or stocks that move on a nice volume up. First of all, it was Fautif Therapeuticals. I usually take a look at on daily chart to see how the history looks like on the chart. So you can notice that almost each pump was quickly a fade. Yeah, so mostly so it tells me that it's most likely that this time it also will drop very quickly. So I was waiting for a backside here to open short position. Okay, so it looks like that. I start shorting it before the market open with a quick drop, and partially I closed the position. And on market open, there was a newsletter that popped the price of the stock up. So I add to my short position and was waiting for moving below VWAP on nice volume, and I usually close partially position. So we can see my partial close here. During the lunchtime, price move a little bit up, so I add to my short position and cover all of it by the end of the session. So this is the pattern that I've been trading for years, and I like it very much. As you can see on other stocks like DTSS, the pattern looks almost the same. So there was a newsletter that pumped the stock on very bullshit news, so it's also important. I start shorting it, then I add to position on open because of the newsletter that came in. I closed it partially on the first leg down. After that, because the price was below the VWAP, I add to my short position and close it partially. So after first hour, it was like sculling in and sculling out, something like that, as you can see on the chart. And also it's important to take a look on the daily chart, because history on the stock looks mostly the same each time. And a few weeks ago we've got another pump that was fade very quickly. The same situation was in October. So most likely that situation will be the same like 3 times earlier. Okay. Another transaction, another trades on the shipper ECA. There was a news that the company will have a presentation during the conference. It's a small news because most companies have presentation on different events, but the price moved from $3 to almost 4.5. I start shorting it around this place, around 425, because each move above the price was very quickly sold, as you can see there. I add to the position below VWAP because of the volume that appeared there. After that, the price moved back to 425, so my initial entry, but hasn't moved above, so I still hold of the position and was waiting for the next part of the session. So as you can see, after the price moved again back the VWAP, then below the EMA 50, my position was closed. So a nice position, around 50-75 cents profited. Another example of the same pattern that I've been trading was on this stock. The same situation like on the stocks that I mentioned earlier. First of all, you should take a look on the daily chart. The trend is quite nice. All the information, all the news from the company are not as good as it seems. The dilution is quite big. Might happen that they will have another offering. So I started to opening a short position on the on the early pre-market. I closed it partially. Then I start adding to the position, and as you can see, the price before the market opened, the price dropped mostly to the level that the price closed the day before. Okay, there were some additional stock like this one where there was no event, just the newsletter pump, so the price dropped very quickly. The same situation was on the stock like this. As you can see, the same pattern, so quick move up and then suddenly drop to the same level when the stock start. On 13th of February, a lot of coronavirus stocks have a nice gap up, and I was sure that most of this will fade very quickly. One of them was Alpha Protect, so they've good news that they sell a lot of masks to the China, but there was tons of sellers above 6.15, so I started to shorting it, and I was waiting for the fade to the level around 5.50, and I closed it partially as you see it on the chart. Similar situation on CO Diagnostics, so I also start shorting it, and it dropped very quickly after the market opened. Same situation on CBLI. Okay, and one more pump and dump last week was on the Works. As you can see, this place there was a newsletter. It dropped very quickly, so I closed partially the position, then I closed some more. After the price stay below the VWAP, I add to my position and was waiting for the late fade on it. So I closed it around 250, 270, as you can see. So as you notice, most of my trades are based on the pump and dumps on backside of the move, or if there is any newsletter, I try to join the opposite way of the newsletter, because it's in most cases it's very easy to trade this kind of setups. But of course, you should know your risk and know what you trade. Okay, if you have any question, let me know in the comment below. See you next week.